When I was 17 years old, I did not want to go to the gym. It was because my coach told me that more muscle mass makes you slower on the pitch. And I always believed that. There was one guy, he was always super fast and his endurance was amazing. But then he went into the gym. He got really checked. What do you think happened on his performance at the pitch? Guys, he was so slow. Because he had so much muscle, he got so much slower at the pitch and he didn't even could play for 90 minutes. So I always believed like, okay, as a football player, you should not go to the gym. But then there was another guy and he was just like a normal player, like a normal athlete. He said, yeah, I'm going to the gym. And like in 6 months, he was like, damn, this guy is faster. Damn, his performance is better. And I was always like, how should you train as a footballer in a gym? Because I made this mistake as well. I really wanted to go to the gym, but I had just no idea what to do. I always told myself like, going to the gym will make you slow. This excuse was actually worthless because it's obviously not true, but that's what I genuinely believed at the age of 16, 17 years old. The time that I first started going to the gym, I actually trained like a bodybuilder. So I got a lot of more muscle mass. I gained a lot of muscle that actually made me slower on the pitch. The most important thing for me was I felt less fit and my performance dropped. And because I don't want you to make the same mistakes, this is why I'm making this video. This video is about 5 mistakes football players make in the gym. I went from a very skinny guy to a guy who uses the gym to his advantage. You see a picture of me before and you see a picture of me after. I'm going to show you how you can get the best football physique in 3 months from now. I will learn you exactly what I learned without wasting years of making the same mistakes I did. First, we are gonna cover the mindset and which mistakes footballers make in this video, and we are going to cover the strategy. At the end, I'm going to tell you an actionable step that you can do in the end of the video. I'm currently making several courses about how to train as a football player, and one in particular is how you use the gym the right way. If you're interested, check my course, it's currently in pre-sale. The first mistake footballers make is not using proper form. Using proper form is essential. Why? Because it prevents injury and gets the most out of every exercise. You should really take your time to learn proper form. Focus on executing the movements correctly. I'm going to tell you something what I learned in my sport education. I'm going to show you a graph of strength training. The first thing we have to discuss are the 2 lines, the horizontal line and the vertical line. The horizontal line is really like the progression of training over time. The vertical is like the method, the complexity and intensity of training method. What's very important here is to take load capacity into account. This really means like you only can move on to the next phase when the body can handle the load. And the first thing you notice in this graph is like technique. Technique is the most important thing. Focus on correct execution and movement quality. Low load, learning to control your own body. It all starts with technique. Technique is the most important thing. The second type is strength endurance. Once your technique is right, you really want to focus on endurance. It's the ability to produce force over longer periods with relatively light to moderate loads. Basically, it means like higher repetitions building a base. It's like your abs. Your abs are endurance muscles, which really means low weights and high repetitions. You really want to have loads of repetitions, but with low weight. Once your body can take over the strength endurance, like you can over to the next load, the third load is submaximal strength. Submaximal strength is really like training with heavier loads. But of course, it's not maximum. You really want to aim at muscular and tendon adaptation. And really important here is like use weights. As a football player, we really want to focus on different aspects. We want to focus on weights, we want to focus on endurance, sometimes we want to focus on maximum strength. It's really like the combination. The fourth thing is maximal strength. Developing the highest force you can produce. So it really means heavy loads, low repetitions. The next thing is really like explosive strength. It's the ability to produce force very quickly. Examples are jumps, throws, or like Olympic lifts. You really want to focus on explosive movements as fast as possible. The last one is like reactive strength. It's like a very repeat force production with minimal ground contact time. It's like strength shortened cycle, such as sprinting and plyometric actions. And why I'm telling you this is because as a football player, you're not focusing on one specific aspect. You really want to focus on them all. Second mistake footballers make is really training like a bodybuilder. Guys, I've seen it so many times. Football players going to the gym, got super jacked, and they built so much muscle. As a footballer, you want to become muscular, but not like a bodybuilder. It's okay, because when I was younger, I just had no idea what I'm doing. And it's the same like those bodybuilder trainers for footballers. They have no idea what they're doing, and they just train because they want to train. But that's not how you should train. Ask yourself, do you want to perform at the pitch, or do you want to look good for the girls? If you really want to know how to use the gym the right way, check my link in the description. I'm currently making a course about it. The third mistake I've seen footballers making is really like training way too hard before team training or games. And I did this as well. I really wanted to grind and make progress. And I literally did it all. Going to the gym 5 times a week. Doing extra individual work every fucking single day. Going on super heavy workouts before training, and I did just all, like running every time. But what do you think happened? Exactly. My performance at team training and in the game, they dropped. They dropped because my legs were too sore. I just couldn't perform at my highest level during the games. Your goal as a football player is really like performing at the pitch during the games. And it's really important, guys. It's not only in games, it's also important in training. Because the last thing you want your coach is telling you, like, nah, Jonathan is not training hard today. Is not training hard this week. I will take someone else. So you really have to perform at team training sessions and in games. The fourth mistake I've seen footballers making is like really only training their upper body or not training their upper body at all. Training your upper body for footballers is very useful because everything needs to be in balance. Of course, as a footballer, as a footballers, we use our legs way more often, but your body needs to be in balance. And that's why you should train your upper body. Your core is really like the bridge between your lower body or your legs and your upper body. And of course, guys, it's true, as a football player, you don't use your upper body that often, but still, it's very important. And some people are only training upper body and no legs. It's the same like training for a marathon, but then only going for cycling, right? It makes no sense. Why should you cycle if you want to train for a marathon? It's like the same in the gym. If you're only training upper body, then why are you a football player? Because as a football player, you use your legs more often. You see what I mean? It's like It's very, very unlogic. The last and the fifth mistakes footballers make is only training legs or not training legs at all. Sometimes people or football players are just training legs. And of course, you really have to train legs because you use your legs all the time. And that's why, as a football player, you have to focus on legs because we use it the most, but you have to also focus on upper body because it needs to be in balance. Focus on quads, hamstrings, calves, groin. In the beginning of the video, I said I would teach you an example step. Next time, when you're going to the gym and when you're doing exercises, or next time when you're doing exercises at home, you really ask yourself like, is my technique correct? Do I feel it in the muscles I'm supposed to? Am I lifting with good form or am I ego lifting? I want you to really record yourself, film yourself, and check if your form is right. Because it's really important. Because everything starts with using proper form, everything starts with technique. And guys, remember, the days you want to skip are the days that matter the most. Mwah!